Welcome back to another scratch tutorial, and today we're going to be looking at the original flare, also known as the OG flare, and it sounds like this. And I'll go through it step by step so that you can make it sound like this. Good people, what is up, what is happening? I'm DJ Shameless, if we haven't met before, and if we have, welcome back to the channel. As I've just said, today's video is all about the original flare. It's just a 3-note scratch, but it sounds like you're doing a lot more than 3 notes, so it's a very nice scratch to have in your arsenal. I've already explained the origin of the original flare in the one-click flare tutorial, so if you want to go and learn about that, I'll link that video at the end of this one. I'll keep the introduction short, so let's just jump straight into the tutorial. The original flare, more commonly known as the OG flare, is basically a 2-click on the crossfader and a slightly different record hand movement than a normal 2-click flare. I'm going to break it down for you. Line your sample up to 12 o'clock and start with your fader open as with all other flares. The first movement is the same as the 1-click and 2-click flare, and also the chirp scratch. So you're going to let the sound come in, and as the sound comes in, you're going to move the crossfader from an open position to a closed position. Step number 2 is to continue the sample in a forward movement and do a 1-click transformer. And the final step is to perform a pullback to the 12 o'clock position on your record hand side and open the fader. We'll do that one more time. Crossfader open, start the sample off at 12 o'clock, and as the sample plays, you close the fader. Perform a 1-click transformer, and from this position all you got to do is pull the sample back to 12 o'clock and open the fader. I'll do the forward motion in one smooth movement so you can hear what it sounds like. And from this position, all you got to do is pull the sample back to 12 o'clock and open the fader. So all 3 sounds would be. Another variation of the original flare is to perform 1 sound forward and 2 sounds back. And that would break down sample at 12 o'clock, crossfade in open position. So we got to let the sample play a little bit further so that we have enough space to do the 2 sounds on the way back. So first movement is the same as the chirp, and now we do a 2-click transformer on the way back and leave the crossfader open when you get to 12 o'clock. Now at the intermediate phase of the original flare, we're going to try and keep a loop going of that scratch, and that would sound like this. Also at the intermediate phase, don't forget that you can play with the speed of the sample by moving the record hand faster and slower through the scratch, and that will give you different tones and textures of the original flare. Let's do a few patterns on a metronome. Now at the advanced level of the original flare, you can add previously learned scratches like the baby scratch, or you could add the one-click flare and two-click flare variations to make your own patterns. An example of a baby scratch before the original flare would sound like this. This is an example of a one-click flare to original flare pattern. This is an example of a two-click flare to original flare pattern. And this is an example of a stab scratch to original flare pattern. Let's try a few combinations on a metronome. And that's the original flare. Don't forget to add your previously learned scratches to make up your own patterns. The next tutorial in this series is going to cover some combination scratches like the military scratch and the Chirp Flare scratch. So if you haven't subscribed already to the channel, please do so you don't miss out on those. And until next time, keep practicing, stay sharp, and peace.